Hey, what's up, guys? King J coming to you live from hell once again. Ignore the chair. So today I want to talk about music, musical selections. So I've been listening to music since I was born, but lately I've been listening to music a lot in the gym. I'm spending like two, sometimes more hours in the gym, and sometimes I'm listening to audiobooks or YouTube shit, but a lot of times I'm listening to music. And I was always very like attached to like, well, I like this album, I love this album, this is like one of the best albums I've ever heard. And then like when I think of new artists, like especially rap artists, I'm like, I don't really want to venture out. I just feel like I'm not going to really like it. But lately I've been more open to listening to albums from artists that I already liked that I just avoided, or listening to new artists altogether that I would just be like, there's nothing probably for me there. um, and I've enjoyed some things I haven't enjoyed, but some things I've really enjoyed, and I've just been open to just giving a lot of new things a chance, or things that are not even new anymore, things that are from a few years ago, or even older. And I'm just kind of like feeling the vibe, and I'm like, man, you see, the more open I am, the more that I'm able to really just enjoy. So, and it goes with anything. It's like, YouTube content. Before I would be like, I need to watch these videos. These videos are giving me the information that I've always been looking for. And the second I was kind of like, well, whatever. It doesn't really matter. Is the second that I'm able to enjoy a lot more variety of content. And I think that sometimes we feel very attached to what we enjoy, and we feel that it's part of our personality and it defines us, and we like the confines that we laid out for ourselves, and we're not open to change. And then as soon as we find something new, we think, oh, this is it, this is going to be incorporated. And it's almost like little obsessions. And so what I've been trying to do is, but I've been trying to stop obsessing over one particular thing, one particular piece of music that is defining. And I'm just kind of like, yeah, I could listen to this, and if I feel like listening to it, I'm going to listen to it again and again and again. But I'm not going to, the second that I don't feel like listening to it anymore, I'm just going to be like, I don't feel like listening to it anymore. And I'm going to be on the search. I'm going to be on the search for new music. And I have this weird idea in my head that, like, what if I forget a song? What if I really like a song and then I can't find it again? You know what? It doesn't really matter. Now that I think about it, I might as well enjoy the song, even if I never hear it again. Why would I not just enjoy the song? Yeah, back in the day, I used to spend hours trying to find music. Sometimes I was successful in finding songs that I hadn't heard since I was little. Sometimes there was these things in my head that are like, I know that song, but I can never find the name. I can never find the artist. I could just, it just lost. But now that I'm in this search for new music and enjoying music of large varieties, well, mostly just indie and hip hop and metal, and because I grew up on metal, especially new metal, because I was in the 90s. That was starting to become like that post grunge, very hard aesthetic. I'm talking about System of a Down and Slipknot and Korn, and then even Tool, like that whole little era of the 2000s new metal. It really just defined me when I was young, going into middle school. And then I never liked hip hop, but the second I got into hip hop, man, I started listening to Biggie. I started listening to Wu-Tang Clan, and then I started listening to more modern guys. I started listening to Kanye. I started listening to Jay-Z. And then a lot of new artists started coming out. So I would listen to Drake. I listened to Kid Cudi. And it just all evolved from there. And now there's just endless amount. There is no shortage of artists creating art. And I don't know why I feel like I need to have this little list of, but these are the guys I like, and these are the only guys I like, and I like listening to these guys because of this and that. Now that I'm more open, it's like, hey, this is like a wide variety of, and I think of, YouTuber Anthony Fantano. He listens endlessly to music, and I wonder, then what does he listen to on his own time? Like, what does he listen to when he just wants to casually listen to music? Or is it like a chef who is constantly tasting food, and it just sort of loses the power that it would have if you were just having it for the first time? I don't really know. But there's a lot of albums that I know I love, but I don't feel like listening to anymore. one of my favorite albums of all time, Kendrick Lamar's Good Kid, Mad City. I love the idea of that album in my head more than I do sitting down and pressing play on it, because I'll press play and I'll enjoy it, but it just, in my head, it's attached with all these memories and this time period and this the impact that it had on me and the impact that I think it had on hip hop culture. It's defining, that album, for me at least. So there's been, and one of my friends had said this a long time ago, it's okay if I don't get to listen to the music. It sounds better in my head anyway. And I laughed and I thought, you know what? Sometimes that is true. Sometimes in my head, the songs are just hard. They're just hitting just right. And then I played it and I'm like, man, this is just, I wish it had a little more oomph to it, a little something, a little extra seasoning on it. But the thing about music is that everybody has their own reasons for listening, and everyone has their own tastes, and everybody has their own styles. And I listen to a lot of different music for a lot of different reasons. I love vaporwave. I love witch house. I love freaking glitch pop and just weird, things that are just. I can't even find the right context for why I listen to some of these things. I'll be in the gym listening to 100 Gex, and I'm feeling pumped. I'm ready to go. And I don't even question it anymore. I just enjoy it. I'm like, you know what? Okay. But then I'll find myself looping on the same playlists over and over, and I'm like, oh, well, I'm afraid I don't want to jump into something new. I'm like, why? What is there? If I don't like it, I'm going to skip the song. There's lots of music. There's so much out there to explore, and I want to keep looking at it. It's like this journey of endless sound porn that is just like, yeah. And it's like the same thing with YouTube videos. There's so much content out there. There's people pumping out content all the time, and a lot of times if I find something, I'll start binging, and I'll start just seeing all the different things, especially if the content is very similar in what I'm interested in. And there's things that I'm not even interested in that I'll just watch because I like the person who's making it. My favorite game is Fortnite. And as I changed my relationship with it as this weird attachment that I feel is like draining me, and I just see it as this casual fun thing that I enjoy collecting skins in, I'm able to watch one of my favorite YouTubers, I Talk Fortnite, and I say, and everything he says so passionately, I kind of laugh and I just take it with a grain of salt, like, yeah, this is this guy's life. And there was times where I was like, yes, that really bothers me too, blah blah blah, I can't believe that they're releasing this as in blah blah. And it's just like, dude, it's not that deep. It's just, but I see why, if you're involved in it so deeply, that everything you're just hoping. I remember every season I'd get nervous for when the new season was going to start, and I just like, I couldn't wait. And it was the same thing with an album dropping. When a new artist that I like, I would have this nervous feeling like, oh my God, I got to listen to it in the right environment. And I got to be in my room with the lights off and I have to have the headphones on and nobody can bother me. And I'm going to listen to the whole thing from the very top to the very bottom. And I want to hear every sound and everything. And I don't want to even know the track list. I don't want to know the features. I just want to listen to it raw. And I've done that with many albums. I do enjoy that experience. But a lot of times my first impression is never the same after I've been listening to it. Astro World, the first time I heard that, I was just like, this is a clusterfuck. And then now I really appreciate the way that album flows and everything. I think it's a solid album, completely solid. The same thing with Playboi Carti's new album, Whole Lotta Red. I just thought, man, this is silly. This is just too much. And now I love that album. I feel it has so much energy and so much impact in it. And Playboi Carti has honestly become one of my favorite artists. Like, and I don't even know why, but I don't even need to question why. I just enjoy it. I just enjoy the work that this guy puts into it. I enjoy the energy that he gives. I enjoy his performance. And I recently went back and listened to his first album. And I could really see the growth, but I could also appreciate his old music. But I could really see the growth. Another artist that is big in that is Young Lean. I remember loving Young Lean when he came out, and then he actually started taking this stuff very extra serious than I ever thought he would. And I love how he's progressed. And then when he started making newer songs, I was just like, I'm not really into it anymore. But now I can go back in and listen to his albums and just be sort of detached to a particular type of sound. It's like Jay-Z says, if you want my old shit, buy my old albums. They still exist. We don't need to be trying to recreate that same sound. It's all about evolution. Another Fortnite reference. They always evolve and they always change the map. They always change everything up. They don't nostalgia is something that exists in the past. So you have to be able to enjoy moving forward to wherever an artist is going to take you. That's why I think Damn was so important for Kendrick Lamar, because it was his way of, one, incorporating the sounds from both to Pimp a Butterfly and Good Kid, Mad City, but it was also him dominating modern rap by saying, I can do this too. I can do pop shit. I can do everything that Drake does. And I don't think in terms of sound and aesthetics, he can do everything that Drake does. But I think in terms of impact, relevancy, I think he can do everything that Drake does, and a little bit more, because I think he can touch on a lot of cultural issues that Drake just doesn't touch on. But he's not the type of guy, so it's fine. But I think that's why Kendrick has this more defined place when it comes to culture, but Drake has a more defined place in terms of popularity and in terms of I get, as Drake has said, and in an unreleased quote, Kendrick makes music for Compton, Drake makes music for the world. But for me, the authenticity of Kendrick's music for Compton makes me feel like I'm from Compton. It puts me in this place that is just like, whoa, I could really feel this guy, and I have no idea what he's been through. I can never be in his shoes, but he's really passionate, very emotional in the way that he portrays everything he's doing. It's so authentic, it's so real, it's so raw, and you can feel it. On a random note, this 17-year-old girl, Olivia Rodrigo from Disney Channel, she made this album called Sour. And I think that album is like the new Taylor Swift for a lot of girls today. And I think that when I heard that, I was hearing it with one of my cousins, and I was like, honestly, I could really feel this, because she's speaking in a way to that a lot of girls can relate to, but it's very personal to her. It's a real story that she's going through in her life, and she's talking about her life like as is. And I think she's got a lot of balls, because she's calling out her ex-boyfriend that she works with and all this stuff, and it's like really like real. And I could feel that. When you feel that emotion and when you feel how real it is, it's impactful, and it stays with you. It sticks. And so I see that in Joji's work, which I never even liked Filthy Frank, and I didn't like when Joji started to sing. But then when he made his first album, I slept on it for a while. But once I really heard it, I could really appreciate what he was trying to do, and the content about the way that he sings about love. I enjoy it a lot. And his new album, or his newest album, Nectar, is another one that I think is on that same vibe. It's on the same feels. I like more of his darker cuts than more of the poppy ones. But still, I see that there's so much potential in so many artists, and I can just enjoy them for what they are without this pressure of but you made this perfect album before, you better not mess it up, and that's why I am anticipating a Kendrick album, but it's not that deep. I'm just open to what I think he's already, if he stopped right now, he'd have a great catalog. Same thing with Drake, same thing with a lot of artists. The other one was Kid Cudi, who I loved his first two albums, his first three albums, and then everybody felt like he fell off with a Speeding Bullet to Heaven. But I think he needed to do what he needed to do, and I'm really happy that he did, because it made him come back and appreciate his sound, and that the fact that he is a big influence in a lot of the sound that's popular today. And the thing is that the more I can appreciate an artist's new music, the more that I can really appreciate the songs that I've always loved from them. So it's this journey. It gives more impact to the other stuff that I really liked, but it also allows new awesome sounds to come into my ears and cream in my ears. So yeah, that is just a little rant about music, nothing too crazy. But tell me, recommend me some music. What do you guys listen to? What do you jam to in the gym? What do you jam to when you're happy? What do you jam to when you're sad? I'm interested in everything. If you made it to 14 minutes and 51 seconds, I want to thank you for watching and listening. If you like it, give it a like. I'll see you guys in the next one. King J out.